I'll start again, I think, actually. Hello, if you're a small company director, I thought it'd be useful to show you how your profit is actually treated at the end of your trading year. So this big box here represents your profit, if you like, before you've decided what to do with it at the end of the year. So before you've paid yourself anything like a bonus or a pension contribution, and before you've paid any interest out to people who've lent you money on a long-term basis, i.e. bondholders or loans. The first thing that happens is, do you want to pay yourself a bonus or a pension contribution? And if you decide to do so, that comes off this taxable profit. So the first slice here, this would get tax relief. So that will reduce how much profit you have to pay tax on. And then the second thing you'll do is pay interest to the bondholders or to people who've lent you money on a longer term basis. And once you've paid those two things, they both get tax relief and they reduce your taxable profit. And what you're left with here is your operating profit. And this operating profit is your pre-tax operating profit. The next thing you'll then have to do is pay tax on that. And then after that, you're left with what's called earnings. Now, earnings is a really important figure, and earnings per share is a really important way of measuring the value of a share. And the way you work it out is you work out this remaining figure here, the earnings, and divide it by the number of shares. Now, once you've got your earnings, you've got two things you can do with them. You can either pay a dividend here, or you can pay them into the reserves. So if you pay a dividend, you've then got the other figure, which is dividend per share, which is this figure divided by the number of shares. And you've also got dividend yield, which is the dividend per share divided by the share price. Alternatively, you can put the earnings into retained profits into the reserves in the company balance sheet. Now, the relationship between the two is really important. So if you divide the amount you put into reserves, if you divide the whole earnings figure by the amount you pay as dividend, that gives you what's called dividend cover. And dividend cover is really important because the higher the dividend cover figure is, i.e. the earnings you could have paid as dividends compared to what you did pay as dividends, the higher that figure is, the more sustainable it is to carry on paying a dividend. So that's where some of these important measures come from. So in summary, this is your overall profit figure before you decide what to do with it. If you pay yourself a bonus or make a pension contribution, you reduce your taxable profit, you get tax relief. You're then left with this figure here, which is your profit figure before you pay out the interest. Again, you pay out the interest, that reduces your taxable figure. And then what's left is your taxable profit, you pay your tax, and then you've got what's left is earnings, and then the earnings can either go into the reserves to help grow the company or be paid out as dividend. And the amount of earnings compared to how much you pay out as dividend is called dividend cover. If you were interested in being part of an advisory group, or a mastermind sometimes called, where you help each other to actually grow this profit figure so that you've got more earnings at the end of the day, then have a look at https://businessroundtableuk.co.uk or contact me on LinkedIn and maybe we could arrange a short chat. So I hope you found that interesting and useful. Thanks very much for watching.